Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever heard of a coin that's worth way more than its face value? Well, today we're going to talk about one that could be worth a lot more than just 5 cents. Yes, we're talking about the 2002 Jefferson nickel, a coin that might be hiding in your pocket right now, and could potentially be worth $7.4 million. That's right, you heard me correctly, $7.4 million. Stick around to find out the history, value, and how you can spot one of these rare coins. Let's start with the basics. The Jefferson nickel, which has been minted by the U.S. Mint since 1938, features Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. The coin's design has gone through various changes, but today, we're focusing on the 2002 edition of the nickel. The Jefferson nickel is one of those coins that feels familiar. It's the one you see in your pocket, your wallet, or just sitting in the bottom of your purse. The design has stayed pretty consistent for many years. On the obverse you've got a portrait of Jefferson, and on the reverse, there's an image of his historic home, Monticello. Simple, right? It's easy to overlook, especially considering how many of these coins are in circulation, but despite how normal this nickel looks, there's something incredibly special about a specific version of the 2002 nickel that could make it worth a lot more than just 5 cents. Now, let's dig a little deeper into the story. Some of you might be wondering, why does a 2002 nickel have any special value? And I totally get that. After all, we're talking about a coin that has a standard design and has been minted by the millions, so what could possibly make it stand out? Well, as with many rare coins, the answer lies in a specific mistake made during the minting process. You see, error coins are a huge deal in the world of numismatics. These mistakes can take many forms, and they tend to make a coin far more valuable than its original intended face value. A die crack, a misprint, or even an incorrect strike can completely change a coin's worth. In the case of the 2002 Jefferson nickel, there's a particularly unique error that has caught the attention of collectors, and it's what has made certain versions of the 2002 nickel so incredibly valuable. Let's talk about this rare error. While millions of these nickels were struck without any issues, some of them came off the minting press with an unexpected problem, a double die error. This error occurs when a coin is struck by a die more than once, causing the design to appear blurry or doubled. It sounds simple enough, but the result is a coin that looks different from all the others in circulation. This doubling effect can sometimes be subtle, or it can be very obvious, with Jefferson's portrait or the Monticello building appearing in a slightly shifted, duplicated manner. A double die error on a 2002 nickel can make the coin particularly sought after by collectors who are willing to pay a premium for a piece of coinage with such a distinct and unique feature. But the double die error isn't the only thing to look out for. There are also other types of errors that can be found in some 2002 Jefferson nickels, including die cracks and off-center strikes. A die crack is when a small crack develops on the die used to strike the coins, which can leave an impression of the crack on the coin itself. These cracks can range from tiny to quite large, and they're often visible around Jefferson's neck or along the edges of Monticello. Coins with this error tend to be rarer and more valuable as well, since they're harder to find. Then, there's the off-center strike, where the coin isn't struck in the correct position on the planchet. When this happens, part of the coin's design gets cut off or misaligned, and it can give the coin a unique look. The off-center error can be highly sought after by collectors who specialize in coins with unusual strikes. However, the real gem of the 2002 Jefferson nickel is one of the rarest and most highly coveted errors, the missing mint mark. Normally, all coins minted in Philadelphia will have a small P mint mark on the reverse side of the coin, near Monticello. But a small group of these 2002 nickels was produced with no mint mark at all, making them incredibly rare. These no mint mark nickels are extremely valuable because they are so hard to come by, and they stand out in a way that other nickels simply don't. So, why are these missing mint mark coins so special? For one, the U.S. Mint produces millions of coins each year, and each coin is usually marked with its mint's identification letter. When one of these coins is made without a mint mark, it signifies a mistake, and those mistakes are what make these coins so intriguing to collectors. In the case of the 2002 P Jefferson nickel with the missing mint mark, that error has made the coin worth far more than anyone could have imagined. Now, here's where things get really exciting. In 2002, one of these rare error coins was sold at auction for a staggering $7.4 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. A single 2002 P Jefferson nickel, missing its mint mark and featuring multiple errors, went for a mind-blowing $7.4 million at a collector's auction. This sale set a new record for the value of an error coin, and it showed just how much demand there is for rare and unique coins. It's hard to believe that something as simple as a 5-cent coin could fetch such an astronomical amount of money, but this sale proved that rarity and history are incredibly powerful factors when it comes to determining a coin's value. And even if you don't have a coin worth millions, it just goes to show that one small mistake can completely change the worth of a piece of currency. So, how can you spot a rare 2002 Jefferson nickel in your own collection or change jar? First, start by looking for the mint mark. If it's missing, that's your first sign that you may have something special on your hands. If the mint mark is there, you'll want to carefully check the coin for any signs of doubling, die cracks, or misalignments. These errors are often subtle, so using a magnifying glass can really help you get a closer look at the fine details of the coin. You also want to check the overall condition of the coin. Coins that are in good shape are more likely to fetch a higher price than those that are worn down or damaged. So if you do find a 2002 Jefferson nickel with some of these errors, but it's in poor condition, it may not bring in as much as a coin in pristine condition. If you think you found a rare 2002 Jefferson nickel, what should you do next? The first step is to get it appraised by a professional. You'll want to make sure the coin is authenticated before trying to sell it, especially when you're dealing with such a valuable piece of currency. Many collectors and dealers can help with the authentication process, and they can give you a rough idea of what it might be worth. Once you know your coin's value, you can start looking for potential buyers or auction houses that specialize in rare coins. Just be sure to do your research before selling your coin to ensure you're getting a fair price. So, the next time you dig through your change jar or look through your pocket change, remember the 2002 Jefferson nickel could be hiding something incredible. If you find one of these rare error coins, you could be holding on to a small fortune. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more coin collecting tips and interesting stories like this one. Until next time, keep collecting and keep searching for hidden treasures. Next, 1997 Jefferson Nickels USA coins. Today, we've got something exciting to talk about, something you might actually have lying around in your pocket change right now. I'm talking about the 1997 Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it seems like just another regular nickel. But what if I told you that this coin could be worth a small fortune? In fact, some 1997 Jefferson nickels have sold for up to $13 million. Yes, you heard that right. Stick around, and I'm going to explain how a simple coin can hold such incredible value. Let's start with the basics. The 1997 Jefferson nickel is a part of the standard US 5-cent coin series. It features Thomas Jefferson on the front and Monticello, his Virginia estate, on the reverse. Most of these coins are minted every year with no big surprises, and you might think that nothing special about the 1997 nickel would make it stand out from the rest. But here's the kicker: there are rare versions of this coin that can sell for astronomical amounts. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this coin so valuable? Well, it all comes down to something called minting errors, and if you're lucky enough to find one of these rare error coins, you could be holding a fortune in your hand. Some 1997 Jefferson nickels were minted with subtle, but highly collectible errors. These include things like double strikes, where the die struck the coin more than once, off-center prints, or even misaligned designs. The problem with these errors is that they only happen on a small percentage of coins, which is what makes them so desirable to collectors. And because these errors are rare, they can command hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. But there's one particular error on a 1997 nickel that's so rare, it's been sold for an absolutely mind-blowing $13 million. Yes, you heard that right. The rarest of these error coins, a 1997 Jefferson nickel with a misaligned die that resulted in a double strike on the reverse side, fetched an incredible $13 million at auction. Only a handful of these coins are believed to exist, and their rarity makes them one of the most sought-after coins in the world. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, but for the lucky few who stumble upon one, it's a life-changing discovery. Now, while it's extremely unlikely that most of us will find a nickel worth $13 million just sitting in our pocket change, there are still plenty of other reasons to keep an eye out for valuable 1997 Jefferson nickels. Even coins in excellent condition, with no visible errors, can still be worth more than their face value. In fact, collectors often seek out well-preserved coins from specific years, especially if they're part of a series like the Jefferson nickels. So, how do you check if you've got one of these valuable coins? First things first, take a good look at the coin. Look for any obvious errors. Sometimes, it's easy to spot a double strike, where the date or lettering looks like it's been stamped twice. Other times, the coin may have a misaligned design, maybe the image of Jefferson is slightly off-center or the reverse design doesn't line up properly. All of these little imperfections are what make the coin rare, and if you find one with an error, you might just be holding on to something worth a lot of money. If you think you found an error coin, the next step is to get it appraised. Professional numismatists, or coin dealers, can tell you whether your coin is a true rarity. They'll also be able to evaluate its condition, because remember, the better the condition, the more valuable it becomes. In fact, coins with minimal wear and tear can command much higher prices than those that are heavily scratched or dented. While it might not be as easy as simply checking your change jar, looking for valuable nickels can be a fun and rewarding hobby. There are even some people who specialize in searching through bags of coins, looking for rare finds. And who knows? You could be one of the lucky few to stumble across a coin worth a lot more than 5 cents. Before you go and start flipping through your pocket change, keep in mind that finding a rare 1997 nickel is incredibly rare, and not every 1997 Jefferson nickel is going to be worth millions. But even if you don't hit the jackpot, you can still find some nice surprises in your collection. So, take the time to look through your nickels carefully. It might not be the $13 million find you're hoping for, but even if you just find one with a small error or one in pristine condition, it's still worth more than face value. And hey, with a little bit of luck and a lot of persistence, you could be the next person to discover a coin that makes history. Thanks for tuning in today, folks. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and their fascinating stories, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Got any 1997 Jefferson nickels or other rare coins lying around? Drop a comment below and let me know what you found. As always, happy hunting, and remember, you never know when. Next, 1988 P Jefferson Nickels USA coins. Today, we're diving into a coin that could be hiding in your pocket right now, one that has the potential to make you a small fortune. That's right, we're talking about the 1988 P Jefferson nickel and its incredible value. And I'm not just talking about the face value of 5 cents. Oh no, we're about to explore why this coin could be worth millions. Stay tuned to find out why you should start checking your change right now. But first, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on tips like these. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about a 1988 P Jefferson nickel? After all, it's just a regular 5-cent coin. You've probably seen hundreds of them, and the chances are you might even have some in your spare change right now. Let me take you back a little bit. First, let's talk about the Jefferson nickel itself. This coin has been in circulation in the United States since 1938, and over the years, it's gone through several design changes. The 1988 P version, which was minted in Philadelphia, looks like your standard nickel. The front features a portrait of President Thomas Jefferson, and the reverse shows Monticello, his iconic Virginia estate. Nothing too exciting, right? It seems like just another nickel in the grand scheme of things, but here's where things get interesting. While the 1988 P Jefferson nickel might look ordinary at first glance, certain variations of this coin have actually become a hot commodity among collectors. Some of these coins have sold for ridiculous amounts of money, and not just because of any specific mistake in production, although there are some interesting errors you'll want to look out for. Now, when we talk about coins with high value, we have to consider mint errors. Mint errors can make a coin more valuable, and the 1988 P Jefferson nickel is no exception. A coin with an error, whether it's a double die, a misstrike, or a clipped planchet, can turn into a treasure if you're lucky enough to find one. These errors can drastically increase the value of a coin, making what seemed like a simple nickel worth thousands or even millions. A famous example of an error coin is the 1988 P double die obverse nickel. This rare error occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly during the minting process, resulting in a duplicated image of Jefferson's profile. Coins like this one have been sold for as much as $10,000 or more, depending on their condition. That's not pocket change, folks. A coin that was meant to be a simple 5-cent piece could become a windfall for the lucky owner who spots the error, and here's the real kicker. There's an urban legend that says a perfectly preserved 1988 P Jefferson nickel, with no errors, could be worth up to $90 million. I know, you're probably thinking, that's insane. But, let me explain. Now, there isn't any official record of a 1988 P nickel being sold for $90 million, yet. But it's based on the fact that rare coins with significant historical value have been known to fetch astronomical prices at auction. For example, in recent years, we've seen coins like the 1933 Double Eagle gold coin sell for over $18 million. So, it's not beyond the realm of possibility for a 1988 P Jefferson nickel to eventually become one of the highest valued coins in history. Okay, but let's back up a second and talk about why people think a coin that only costs 5 cents to produce could end up being worth so much. The first reason is scarcity. Coins that were struck in small quantities, especially those with unique errors, are always in high demand among collectors. The rarer the coin, the higher the price people are willing to pay for it. And when you combine rarity with something that might make it even more sought after, like an error or a specific design feature, you get a recipe for a valuable coin. Second, historical significance. The 1988 P Jefferson nickel is part of a long history of U.S. coinage. If a coin is tied to an important event or era, its value can skyrocket. Think about it, coins tied to specific presidents, wars, or milestones are often highly sought after. It's all about the story behind the coin. The Jefferson nickel, in particular, represents a significant period in American history as it honors one of the nation's founding fathers. People are often willing to pay top dollar for something that represents a meaningful chapter in their nation's past. So, you may be wondering, how do I know if I have a valuable 1988 P Jefferson nickel in my possession? Well, first, you want to inspect it closely. Look for any obvious errors, like doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual wear patterns. A coin in mint condition, without any major scratches, discoloration, or damage, will also be worth more. If it's a well-preserved example with no signs of wear or age, it could be worth significantly more than the standard 5 cents. Another factor to consider is the grade of the coin. The higher the grade, meaning the better the condition of the coin, the more valuable it will be. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC will assign a grade to your coin, and a high-grade 1988 P nickel could fetch thousands. Coins that are graded at MS 65 or higher, for example, tend to bring in much higher prices compared to coins that are graded lower. So, if you're lucky enough to have a coin in pristine condition, it could be well worth getting it professionally graded. Now, let's talk about the value. While a normal 1988 P Jefferson nickel is only worth 5 cents, if you find one with a mint error or in exceptional condition, it could be worth significantly more. Some of these coins have been sold for anywhere between $100 to $10,000, depending on the rarity of the error and the condition of the coin. And for those of you out there who are holding on to that perfect 1988 P Jefferson nickel, well, you might be looking at something worth even more if the right buyer comes along. So, how can you find a rare 1988 P Jefferson nickel? The easiest way is to start by visiting a local coin shop or sending your coin to a professional grading service. These professionals have the knowledge and experience to determine if your coin is worth something more than face value. If it turns out you've got one of those elusive error coins, you could be sitting on a small fortune, and don't forget to check your rolls of nickels too. A lot of valuable coins are found in rolls, which is why collectors will sometimes buy up entire boxes of coins from the bank just to search for those hidden gems. It's all part of the thrill of the hunt. Some collectors have made their careers off finding rare coins in coin rolls that others passed by. So, don't think that just because you don't see the value right away, it's not worth your time to check through your spare change. Now, it's important to note that the 1988 P Jefferson nickel isn't the only coin worth checking for rare errors. There are plenty of other US coins with their own fascinating histories and potential for high value. But the 1988 P nickel stands out as a prime example of how a simple coin can be worth so much more than its original face value. With the right mix of scarcity, historical significance, and mint errors, you could have a rare treasure on your hands without even knowing it. Alright, folks, that wraps up today's video. If you've got a 1988 P Jefferson nickel sitting around, it might be time to give it a second look. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content on rare coins, history, and how to spot the next big treasure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.